Titans fans, go ahead and subscribe. We are 37 away from getting to 400. We also have a Texans channel here at Chat Sports. They're getting really close to 400 too. I don't want them to beat you guys, so go ahead and subscribe for more news, rumors around the Tennessee Titans. What's going on, y'all? Mitchell Renz here from Chat Sports, and on today's video, we're going to be breaking down the three biggest winners and losers at Titans training camp. The very first player that we're going to bring up is actually somebody that I've discussed before here, and he's really creating quite a lot of buzz. It's Racey McMath, wide receiver. So this young man was drafted out of the 6th round. He played at LSU last season, but what's really starting to create some buzz or some hype around him is his ability to high point some of these catches. So he's 6'2", 211 pounds, only 22 years old. Sure, some of y'all are going to be like, well, he only had 14 catches last season. He was on LSU. There's a lot of talent there. But there's also been a lot of injuries, which is why McMath is making a name for himself. Another player that we're going to get into here is Breon Borders. So there's obviously been a lot of focus, if you will, around Caleb Farley, around Christian Fulton, around the cornerback position in general. Well, Borders here, only 26 years old, is making a good name for himself, especially for camp. One of the biggest issues last year for this Titans defense was realistically being able to lock down some receivers. Borders, according to coaches, according to some other players, has looked very good thus far and has a real shot to make the 53. The last name coming up here is Sam Ficken. And you know what, man? Kickers are people too. And Ficken has looked really freaking good thus far in camp, making, I believe it's like 90% of his kicks. The coaches have been impressed. He has a real shot to end up being the starting kicker for the Titans. And what I want everyone to do that comes across this video is Google Ficken in German. I think I'll give you a pretty good laugh. All right, y'all, so chime in here. That's what Chat Sports is all about. I want you to name a winner at camp so far for the Titans that you believe is a winner. If there's somebody else that deserves some love, that's what we're about here at Chat Sports. So name a winner at Titans camp so far. With winners, it's also time to bring up some losers. Probably the biggest loser thus far at Titans camp, I'd say, is Dillon Radunz, drafted in the 2nd round out of North Dakota State. He just has not looked good whatsoever, if I'm being 100% real. Mike Vrabel literally 2 days ago was like, he needs to step it up. Another coach yesterday was like, Dillon Radunz needs to step it up. Obviously, it's not what you're looking for. This was a player that I personally liked a lot coming out of North Dakota State, so hearing this made me a little upset. Next guy coming up here is Julio Jones, and the only reason why I'm going to throw up Julio here is because the Titans, they went out. You obviously traded for him. You're hoping that he can be healthy, but he is coming off a season where he missed 7 games. Now, he still put up pretty solid numbers, 85 receiving yards per game last season, but he goes up for a ball, comes down, lands awkwardly, and now has missed 2, maybe even 3 straight days of practice. Obviously, that's not what you want from a receiver over the age of 30. The last name I'm going to bring up here is Geoff Swaim, and it's simply because the tight end position, I still think Anthony Ferkser is going to be the starting tight end. Like, I think everyone watching this video would agree with me. But for Geoff, you're still trying to be able to find your way on this roster, creating a little bit more buzz, and yet it just has not been thus a very productive camp thus far, also battling some injuries of his own. So I went through the winners, and now I'm giving you guys the losers. Name a loser at Titans camp so far. I know it's not probably the easiest thing or the fun thing to do, but part of my job, and actually I think part of being a Titans fan and part of being a fan of the NFL, is giving winners and losers. So let me know, a loser so far.